guessing you meant the podcast opening for Tuesday, August 11th. Here you go. Earth is Ghetto, Tuesday, August 11th. Good morning, good people, and happy Tuesday. Welcome back to Earth is Ghetto with your host, Love. Monday is officially behind us, so if you survived it, congratulations. Now let's get into this Tuesday and see what kind of foolishness planet Earth has prepared for us today. We're kicking things off with a little inspiration to get your mind and spirit right. Then we're getting into the news, because apparently the world refuses to take a day off. And of course, we've got some comedy, because sometimes you've just gotta laugh to keep from packing your bags for another planet. And as always, we're keeping my beautiful sister Ashley right here with us, on vocals, and forever part of the show. Today's grief tip: don't judge yourself for having a good day. Smiling, laughing, and enjoying life doesn't mean you miss your person any less. Grief and joy can exist in the same heart at the same time. So get comfortable, turn me up, and let's get this Tuesday started. This is Earth is Ghetto, and baby, checkout is still unavailable.
What up, y'all? Happy Tuesday. Went back and watched Game of Thrones because now I'm having the withdrawal from House of Dragon. It'll be 2 years before we see another one, so I had to. And I really did not pay attention to Game of Thrones. I really spent the whole time asking my husband, like, who's this? What are they supposed to be doing? I'm ADD. But anyway, yeah, that's really what I've been doing. It's hot as a fool. I am so ready for fall. I'm like over summer, like big time. Other than that, y'all, let's get into this news. Let's see what we got here. A girl is 17 walks into an Arizona Chipotle after allegedly being tied up and left in a desert by two men she met on a dating app. Ex-NFL star Marcellus Wiley's domestic violence case dropped by prosecutors. Parents were jailed after baby chokes on dirty diaper while living in a trash-filled garage. So sad. Jon Hamm is expecting his first baby at 55. Somebody got him. He almost made it. U.S. hires 2,000 video gamers to help solve air traffic control shortage. You know, that's pretty smart. Bernie Sanders wants to halt development of AI. Scientists created a chewing gum that could prevent high-risk people from mouth and throat cancer. I bet that stuff is nasty. A Wisconsin game shop discovered almost 100 copies of a never-before-seen version of Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, the game that made me have to wear glasses. Fauci privately warned of miscarriage risks linked to COVID vaccine while publicly claiming no issues, a newly released tech show. At least 111 people have been unalived and over 80 injured after a strong earthquake in Colombia. Representative Lauren Boebert's son was arrested on child exploitation charges. President Trump signed an executive order calling for spacing out of childhood shots. A Florida swimmer's arm is ripped off by an alligator in a gruesome attack that left bones poking out. So this was a Tacos Tequila Festival in Colorado. 71 people got sick and had to be taken to the hospital. Many people were saying it was hard to buy water, and many were charging $6 for a bottle of water. There was trash everywhere. Listen, this is why I don't go to no festivals. I can't. Let's see. Oh, this lady, they got married in Mickey D's. She looked a little annoyed. She didn't know which way to go. But they had a nice little setup, little decor. Maybe they really love Mickey D's. Had a groomsman. Flower girl. I'm assuming that's the groom. And then here comes the lovely bride. Now, did they close McDonald's down? Not she pulling flowers out of the Happy Meal thing. Are those flowers or receipts? What were they serving in that food? And did they close McDonald's down for this? Is my question. Was the drive-thru still open at least? I have so many questions. Here comes the blushing bride. Amen. Listen, they went viral and they didn't have to pay that much money. Most people have to pay a lot of money for that. Taylor Farms is recalling prepared food items containing jalapenos from retailers, including Walmart, Kroger, and Whole Foods. It ain't safe out here, y'all. Shake Shack customer alleges restaurant raised prices on food after selecting no tip on a self-pay kiosk. Courtney Clenny pleads guilty to manslaughter and she will be released after 2 years. The trial begins for the 1996 unalivement of Tupac. Brad Pitt confesses he's no longer sober after 7 years. In and Out is sued for religious discrimination. Dear Abby, cruise companions come with one big problem. She never stops talking. Kind of close quarters for somebody that never stops talking. Dear Abby, my husband and I have friends who are kind, intelligent, and warm. However, as we have spent more time with them, Phyllis, compulsive talking has become a real problem for us. She hijacks whichever one of us is sitting next to her and starts a monologue that goes on and on and on. Phyllis doesn't even look at the other person she's talking to and doesn't hear when they try to interject or anything. She has said she's hard of hearing and does wear a hearing aid, but I believe the problem is more than just a hearing deficit. The dilemma is they have booked a cruise with us. We didn't ask them to, but when I mentioned we were going, they thought it would be fun. The thought of having dinner together every night and being subjected to this is going to put a distinct damper on what a rare vacation for me and my husband. Is there any way not to offend them and have a more give and take conversation, dreading it in Oregon? One, if you got somebody that talk a lot, you probably shouldn't have told them you was going on a cruise. She said, you and your husband need to make it clear to this couple well before the ship sail that you sign up for this cruise because you want to spend a long time together, meet new people, and make new friends, which is why you would not be able to dine every night. I mean, yeah, you can, it's a cruise ship. She can find somebody on there to yap with if y'all not available. Just get ghosts. Public executions have returned to the streets of Iran last week as the regime clamps down on public dissent following protests in January. New Orleans becomes the first major U.S. city to use AI for 911 calls. No charges are going to be issued over Tim Hortons customer Anita Grayson's unalivement after she passed away following a brawl with a manager. This is Mark Zuckerberg sparring in the middle of the lake. Mark is spending that money, honey. Now that he's made in the shade, why not become a UFC fighter? A Kentucky middle school teacher accused of crossing the line with a student arrested under new anti-grooming law. The sudden unalivement of California law students studying abroad is linked to a popular weight loss shot. Kim Kardashian's Hidden Hills mansion was burglarized. The Ukrainian drone attack on the Russian city of, I'm not even about to try to pronounce that, but it unalived 12 people and wounded 39 others. A wild video shows a huge bison knock tourists to the ground and refuse to let him stand up. Y'all gonna stop messing with these bison. Flesh-eating bacteria in Gulf waters is spreading north, and the warmer water is the reason why. Louisiana is where they said they saw it last. Alright, let's see what Tickety Talk got going on. He said this the only island they can afford.
Yeah, layer. Yeah, that string. There. Okay. And then do the next one on top.
Can't help but laugh.
Oh, it's hilarious. But now I'm like afraid you have to laugh.
So this lady's dress had a cockroach sewn into it. And some people are saying it's witchcraft. But that is crazy.
In prison, I get the honey bun off the pillow. I peel the honey bun wrapper slowly. So I go to eating the honey bun in front of everybody. With me eating the honey bun. Cause bitch, whoever put it up here, I want you to know I'm eating this honey bun. And 20 minutes later, hell, I forgot about it. So I'm in the cell and I just took a piss. So I took the flat back down, opened up the door. This dude, he steps in. The person, one of the people who I did get a phone call was from my childhood friend who was the dude's name was Ray. So he comes in, black dude. He comes in, he's from Mississippi. I already heard stories of Ray doing state time. So I know Ray is a booty bandit. So in his mind, I'm a white dude. You know, he ain't really understanding the politics that's going on about me. Cause right now the prison's in an uproar about me. I seen you eating that honey bun. I said, shit, you and everybody else did. He told me, yeah, well, I'm gonna close the door and you know what's gonna happen next. I said, you right. He said, oh, okay, so you already know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, I do. I do know what's about to happen. He said, all right. So he closed the door. Man, next thing you know, get him off me. Help. I got him beating the shit out. I'm pulling his clothes down in the cell. He put the honey bun in there. I ate his honey bun. He think he finna come booty bandit me. I'm in the cell beating him up, taking the drawers off his ass. We switching this up.
Ciao.
Just a friendly reminder that boring indoor life you're living is saving you from a lot of trouble.
And a lot of money.
And the way my check looking this week, you would have thought the United States government itself worked beside me. I'm talking about sat down and worked right there beside me the way they got paid. God!
For real.
Man, I tell you what, it gets so hot up in them attics I work in. I come down to cool off and I'll go back up and forget. I'm the HVAC guy. I feel like, dang, y'all's air ain't working. Y'all need to call somebody. Man, I tell you what.
You gonna let me take you to rehab?
Wait, are you rehab? Rehab is for quitters. Okay, why quit and I'm living my true life?
Right.
This is a business. Don't take it personal.
Right.
High is the disguise. Tricking is the trick. I got a PhD in pimping hoes daily. What the fuck I'm stopping for?
Yeah, go ahead.
Serious? I make more money than the big three, including their bonus check quarterly than the big three. So what the fuck?
Everybody don't want your advice. Leave her alone and give her drugs, please.
I'm trying to understand the money and what she talking about and all of it because the clothes don't match. Maybe she's a secret millionaire. I don't know. Somebody said she almost recruited me. Somebody said the more she kept talking, it was making sense.
So I came home from church, walked over to my wife, picked her up, held in the air. She starts smiling. She says, what did the pastor preach about today? I said, he told us when we get home, we need to lift our problems up to God.
These niggas out here clubbing. Get you a man that's gonna take you out kayaking. Nigga. Get a nigga that's gonna take you kayaking. These niggas out.
Not kayaking.
Let me see. Those your edges?
Yeah, these my edges.
Girl, okay, you got them not laid down. They going all the way to your neck.
You know you're wrong for that.
Ciao.
What the fuck? Question, okay? My husband's late wife passed away about 10 years ago, and he just recently got her name across his chest, big as fuck. Brittany. Is it weird that I feel like that was inappropriate, weird and everything for him to get it tatted? And he's just like, that was my child's mom, that's my ex, like, she's deceased. Is it weird, or is it like because we're together now? Let me know what you think, please. Question, okay?
Somebody said they would have sent him right with Brittany. That is crazy, though.
Watch this.
Alright, where are you?
So I'm here in the fjords of East Greenland, and I'm standing on some quicksand. Right now, it looks pretty dry, but one of the things about quicksand is as it gets agitated, it liquefies. So what looks like a solid, if it starts wiggling around, it becomes not so solid. So you can see here, as I wiggle my legs, down I go.
Wow. How do you get out?
Down you can go, Tim. And it actually has made a pool here that's pretty large. So that when I started wiggling, this area in front of me. And so now there's a pool of water there where there wasn't water. So you can see how this idea of liquefaction, or the property known as being thixotropic, with just a little bit of wiggling, this stuff becomes very, very soupy.
Quicksand is probably one of the most contradicting things that there are on the world, because growing up, I feel like we were taught that quicksand was this incredibly dangerous thing. We all thought that we were going to be walking and then just sink into quicksand and be gone forever. You can see in this video that is not the case. Quicksand is not like some special type of sand. Quicksand is literally just sand that is mixed with enough water that the particles have some area to move around. And you can see in this video, this sand is kind of drenched with water, and it allows you to kind of find these pockets where you can like sink down into the sand. Now, yes, you can kind of go down into it, but you're not just going to sink down into the sand and disappear. And when you do get in quicksand, yes, if you move around real quick and stuff, you can kind of inch your way down and keep going down. But as you see in this video, if you're kind of a slow and steady movement and you get one...
Oh no, it still didn't look steady to me. I'm sorry. Somebody said when I was a kid, I thought quicksand was going to be a problem in my life. I still wouldn't play around with it.
2 Indians, 2 Chinese, and 1 somebody from Nigeria. I'm sorry, I'm nervous.
This is the second stud that I done ate this year. Oh my god, why the fuck do y'all shit be so fucking tangy? I swear to god, if I get one more tangy pussy ass stud, I'ma take them fucking lips, twirl them bitches, and yank them bitches off y'all body. Throw the whole fucking pussy away. I am so tired of these fucking tangy ass fucking studs. Like, y'all think y'all virgins that y'all ain't gotta take no more acid pills. Y'all don't gotta use no feminine wash. Y'all don't gotta detox that pussy and get in the bathtub. Like, what's up with this fucking funky ass, tangy ass fucking... What is up? Like, oh my god. I'm gonna crash the fuck out. If I taste Momo tangy, bitch, I swear to fucking god, bitch, it's over. It is fucking over. Y'all...
Y'all out of control with this.
I know you got a loving family at home, fool, but guess what, dog? Fuck that shit, fool. You're unhappy, fool. Look at you, dog. You're miserable, fool. You know you want to go out there and find a hood rat, fool. A nasty-ass, fentanyl addicted skonka, fool, and go bust a fat one in her, fool. Come on, fool. Your wife will fucking take care of the baby, fool. Come on. I know you.
Look, a shooting star. Uncle, you're changing. Look.
What kind of animal?
So I just found a picture of Jason and his mom in 1979. Now the caption says, she know damn well She ain't had no business letting that boy at no damn camp. Okay? Y'all, that young man ain't had no business at no camp. No wonder why they let him drown. They wasn't paying attention to him. They was probably even scared to sit next to him. She looked crazy than a mug. Only she would love her son and accept him for what or who he was.
The fact that she's doing a real video on this fake character cracks me up.
What the heck? 20 grams of protein per what? That's better than macros in my fucking chicken and rice. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. 5 grams of protein each spray? My cockroach is gonna be fucking buff. What the heck?
This is, you gotta love a gimmick.
My name is Elijah. I'm the founder of Danielle. This is one of my designs, and I don't have a name for it yet. So you build your bag yourself. Let's say you wanted to style this bag. You would simply unzip it, get the underside color panel of your choice, and then just zip it on, just like that. And it has an invisible magnet closure just right here. You can wear it like a backpack by simply attaching the straps just right there. Or you can also wear it like a crossbody bag, just like this. What do you think? My name is Elijah.
It's cute, but I just know that zipper gonna unzip and all my stuff gonna fall out.
Every single day I would go to the clubs, the girls would be like, hey, this guy is handsome. This guy has a lot of money. This guy pulls up in a Lambo and Ferrari every single day. Let me let him do cocaine off my breast. And the temptation was there, ladies and gentlemen. And I wasn't a follower of Jesus Christ, so I jumped into the temptation. I was like, bring on the next woman. And every single day, a different woman, a different car, a different vibe, a different party. I was living my life in jet skiing and yacht parties. And I'm saying that because that was before I met Jesus Christ, okay? Now, Jesus Christ is in my heart. And I'm a lot happier. You know? Back then, those are good times, I'm not gonna lie to you. But they were just phases. And yeah, what I'm trying to say is, keep Jesus Christ in your heart, ladies and gentlemen. Every single day I would go to
Man, voice mom. Grocery store.
Hey, buddy! Hey, can you help me over here by the charcoal? Was that you?
She having too much fun with this voice.
All right, so when you're doing this, practice both positions for the male. So this is going to be elbows on the table, but if you hold the model like this, then you can practice if the patient prefers to lay on their side. Okay, so I'll show you this way. So you inspect the sort of whole perineum. You're looking for lesions, hemorrhoids, whether there's drainage, whether it looks erythematous. You won't necessarily be able to see it, but for sphincter tone, so you're looking for all of those things. While you're here, you can also look at the posterior aspect of the rest of the genitalia, just for kind of being complete. So you're inspecting for those things. Then you want a lubricant on your finger before you do the exam, and then you're walking the patient through it. So you're gonna feel...
I'm too childish for this whole class.
Up this morning, found a letter that she wrote. She said she's tired and she's always doing the things too hard to swallow, being alone. She needs someone at night that she can call on. I must have told her 1,000 times below the silent things I used to ignore. God knows I love her, didn't mean to hurt her. Baby, I've been sitting there waiting on you to come home to me. I won't die. I promise I'll be there to the day that you die. By your side to protect you and to love you and to be with you the days. Come on home to me, Charlotte.
Anthony Hamilton reposted this, which cracks me up. He like, that ain't my song. Somebody said, why is everything balled up? Charlene ain't never coming home. And then she remixed the whole song.
Back in the day, you see what I'm saying? It's been hell in here. Excuse me, buddy. Hey, how you doing? D. What's your name? Glenn. Glenn, nice to meet you, man. You look good, man. I had to come over here and talk to you. I'm just an old man trying to keep it up. Nah, man, I don't blame you. How you get all that back there? Huh? How you get all that back there? Back what? Why you asking me that? You look good, man. I'm trying to get your number. Cause you look good, brother. You have my number, man. Why not? I'm a Christian, brother. You not gay? I ain't into that. You not gay? Nah, hell no, I ain't gay. Could you see me with this? Oh, no, man. I just thought you looked good. I mean, I'm far from that, man. I love women, man. I got plenty of them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got time for that. Yeah, my bad, man. I was just trying to get your number, man. No. You don't roll that way? No, I'm roll that way, man. All right, man. Have a good day. You have a blessed one, man. Back in the day.
He said, I'm a Christian. All right, y'all. Inspirations on the way. Y'all have a blessed Tuesday.
You have to stop defending every decision, answering every accusation, and proving every intention. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is become quiet. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you have finally realized that everybody does not deserve access to your voice. They may look at your silence and think you are afraid. They may mistake your patience for weakness. They may think because you did not respond, you had no answer. But they do not understand what is happening inside of you. You are learning restraint. You are learning that not every battle deserves your energy. Silence does not mean surrender. Silence can mean preparation. Silence can mean wisdom. Silence can mean that you have stopped fighting battles that were designed to distract you from your purpose. There are seasons when God will allow you to be misunderstood because He is teaching you not to depend on applause. There are moments when people will question your decisions because they cannot see what you see. Let them question. Let them talk. Let them speculate. You do not have to interrupt every conversation about you. Sometimes your greatest response is not a response at all. Keep working. Keep growing. Keep building. Keep praying. Keep becoming. Because eventually, what you build will speak louder than what you could ever explain. You do not have to announce every move. You do not have to tell everybody what you are planning. You do not have to reveal every dream before it has had time to develop. Protect what is precious. Give your purpose room to grow. People who only know your old version may not recognize the person you are becoming. That is okay. You are not required to remain who you were just because somebody became comfortable with that version of you. Your silence is not weakness when it is backed by wisdom. Your patience is not weakness when it is backed by purpose. Your kindness is not weakness when you know how to establish boundaries. And your refusal to retaliate does not mean you cannot fight. It means you have learned that some victories are not worth the cost of losing your peace. So let them underestimate you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them think you are standing still. While they are watching your silence, you are preparing your next chapter. While they are talking about what you used to be, you are becoming something they never expected. And when the time comes, you will not need to argue with anybody about your worth. Your life will answer for you. Your growth will answer for you. Your character will answer for you. Your consistency will answer for you. You do not need to shout to prove that you are strong. Sometimes the strongest person in the room is the one who knows they could respond, but chooses wisdom instead. There is a kind of strength that does not need to announce itself. It does not need to walk into the room demanding attention. It does not need to convince everybody that it belongs there. It simply stands. It simply remains. It simply knows. And one of the hardest lessons you will ever learn is that you cannot make everybody understand you. You can explain your heart, and somebody can still question your motives. You can explain your decision, and somebody can still disagree. You can tell your side of the story, and somebody can still choose to believe something else. At some point, you have to stop exhausting yourself trying to control people's opinions. Because if you need everybody to understand you before you can have peace, you have handed your peace to people who may never give it back. You have to become comfortable with being misunderstood. That does not mean you stop caring about people. It does not mean you become careless with your words or your actions. It means you understand that your responsibility is to live with integrity, not to control every interpretation of your life. There will be people who only know a chapter of your story and think they know the whole book. They saw you when you struggled, so they think you will always struggle. They saw you make a mistake, so they think you will always make mistakes. They saw you when you were uncertain, so they assume you will always be uncertain. But people are not chapters. People grow. People learn. People change. You are not required to remain the person someone remembers. Sometimes people become uncomfortable when you begin changing because your growth challenges the version of you they became comfortable with. They knew how to deal with the old you. They knew what would trigger you. They knew how to get your attention. They knew which words would make you defend yourself. But when you become quiet, disciplined, and secure within yourself, their old methods stop working. They provoke you, but you do not react. They criticize you, but you do not collapse. They misunderstand you, but you do not spend hours defending yourself. They expect an argument, but you choose peace. And suddenly they wonder what happened. What happened is that you grew. You learned that not every statement deserves a response. You learned that not every accusation deserves an explanation. You learned that not every person deserves access to your emotional energy. You learned that silence can sometimes communicate more than 1,000 words. There is freedom in realizing that you do not have to attend every argument. Think about how much energy people waste trying to prove themselves. They explain where they were. They explain why they made a decision. They explain what they meant. They explain what somebody else misunderstood. And after explaining all of that, they still discover that the other person has already decided what they want to believe. So what did all that explaining accomplish? Sometimes nothing. And that is when wisdom says, enough. Not because you have nothing to say, but because you recognize that your peace is more valuable than winning an argument. You have to learn the difference between being silent because you are afraid and being silent because you are wise. Fear says, I cannot speak. Wisdom says, I could speak, but I do not need to. Fear says, what will they think about me? Wisdom says, I know who I am. Fear says, I need their approval. Wisdom says, I can respect their opinion without allowing it to define me. That is a completely different level of strength. And there will be moments when people test that strength. They will say something just to get a reaction. They will bring up your past just to see if you are still affected by it. They will question your choices just to pull you into defending yourself. They may even misunderstand your silence and call it weakness. Let them. You do not have to correct every misunderstanding. Sometimes people will only understand your strength after they realize they can no longer control your emotions. You do not have to prove that you are strong by becoming aggressive. You do not have to prove that you are confident by putting somebody else down. You do not have to prove that you are important by demanding attention. Your strength can be seen in your restraint. Your confidence can be seen in your consistency. Your maturity can be seen in your ability to walk away from unnecessary conflict. Your character can be seen in what you do when nobody is applauding. There is something powerful about knowing you could respond but choosing not to. Because when you are constantly reacting to everybody, you are allowing other people to become the directors of your behavior. Someone says something and you react. Someone criticizes you and you react. Someone ignores you and you react. Someone doubts you and you react. Someone tries to provoke you and you react. And suddenly your entire day is controlled by somebody else's behavior. No, take your power back. Pause, think, choose. You do not have to let somebody else's lack of peace become your lack of peace. You do not have to carry somebody else's anger into your future. You do not have to allow somebody else's insecurity to become your identity. There are people who will misunderstand your boundaries because they benefited from you having none. There are people who will call you distant because you stopped allowing them to drain you. There are people who will call you different because you stopped participating in the same patterns. There are people who will say you have changed. And maybe you have. Maybe that is the point. Maybe you were supposed to change. Maybe you were supposed to become wiser. Maybe you were supposed to stop explaining yourself to everybody. Maybe you were supposed to stop chasing people who constantly made you prove your value. Maybe you were supposed to discover that peace is not found in getting everyone to agree with you. Peace comes when you know who you are even when somebody else does not. So let people have their opinions. You do not have to carry them. Let people make assumptions. You do not have to live under them. Let people remember your past. You are busy building your future. Let them talk about who you were. You keep becoming who you are meant to be. Because when you become secure within yourself, you stop needing to win every conversation. You stop needing to have the last word. You stop needing to prove that you are right. You stop needing everybody to validate your choices. And you begin to understand something powerful. Your life does not have to be explained to everyone who watches it. Some people will understand later. Some will never understand. And both are okay. Your assignment is not to convince everyone. Your assignment is to remain faithful to what is right, continue growing, protect your peace, and keep moving forward. When you know your intentions are clean, you do not have to panic when someone questions them. When you know you are doing your best, you do not have to crumble because somebody says it is not enough. When you know where you are going, you do not have to stop every few steps to ask the crowd whether they approve of your direction. Keep walking, keep building, keep learning, keep growing, and let your consistency become the language that your words no longer need to speak. Stop explaining the vision to people who are committed to seeing only your past. There are some people who will never recognize who you are becoming because they are too committed to remembering who you used to be. They met you in a difficult season, and they decided that was your identity. They saw you fail once, and they decided failure was your destiny. They remember the mistakes you made years ago, and they keep bringing them into conversations as though you are still standing in the same place. But hear this clearly, your past may explain where you have been, but it does not have the authority to decide where you are going. You are allowed to grow beyond the version of yourself that other people remember. You are allowed to become wiser. You are allowed to become more disciplined. You are allowed to change your priorities. You are allowed to make better decisions. You are allowed to walk away from old patterns. And you do not need permission from everybody who knew the old you. Sometimes people become attached to an outdated version of you because that version was easier for them to understand. They knew what you would tolerate. They knew how you would react. They knew how to get your attention. They knew what would make you angry, what would make you defensive, and what would make you doubt yourself. But growth changes the pattern. You become quieter. You become more intentional. You stop reacting to everything. You stop explaining every decision. You stop chasing approval. You stop trying to convince people that you have changed. And suddenly, the people who were comfortable with the old you become uncomfortable with the new you. They may say, "You have changed." And your answer can simply be, "Yes, I have." Because not every change is a loss. Some changes are evidence of growth. You should not be ashamed of becoming wiser than you were yesterday. You should not apologize for learning from your mistakes. You should not feel guilty because you finally understand what you did not understand before. There was a time when you may have tolerated things that you would never tolerate today. There was a time when you may have reacted emotionally to every situation. There was a time when you may have needed everybody's approval. But perhaps you have learned. Perhaps life taught you. Perhaps difficult seasons developed patience inside of you. Perhaps disappointment taught you discernment. Perhaps rejection taught you that your worth cannot depend on somebody else's acceptance. Perhaps being misunderstood taught you how to stand alone without feeling empty. Do not despise those lessons. They may have been painful, but they help shape your character. And now you have to protect the person you are becoming. That means you cannot keep returning to old environments simply because people there are familiar with you. Familiarity is not always destiny. Sometimes you have to leave behind conversations that keep dragging you backward. Sometimes you have to stop discussing dreams with people who constantly mock them. Sometimes you have to stop asking for advice from people who have no understanding of where you are trying to go. Not everyone who knows you understands you, and not everyone who has known you for years is qualified to speak into your future. That does not mean you become disrespectful. It means you become discerning. There is a difference. You can love people without giving them access to every part of your vision. You can respect people without allowing them to determine your direction. You can listen to advice without surrendering your judgment. You can appreciate where you came from without allowing your past to become the ceiling over your future. And sometimes you have to stop announcing your plans because too many voices can create too much confusion. You tell one person your dream, and they tell you why it will not work. You tell another person, and they remind you of everything that went wrong before. You tell someone else, and they compare your journey to somebody else's journey. Before you know it, you have allowed 10 different voices to speak louder than the conviction inside your own heart. So learn to protect your vision. Not everything has to be announced. Not every goal needs an audience. Not every plan needs commentary. There is a season for speaking, and there is a season for building. When you are building, sometimes silence is necessary. A seed does not need an audience while it is underground. It needs time, it needs nourishment, it needs patience, it needs the right conditions. And eventually what was invisible becomes visible. Your life can be like that. There may be things happening inside of you that nobody else can see yet. Your mindset is changing. Your discipline is changing. Your priorities are changing. Your confidence is developing. Your understanding is becoming deeper. Your character is becoming stronger. And just because people cannot see the process does not mean the process is not happening. Do not abandon your growth because someone else cannot recognize it. Sometimes people only believe in the result. They do not believe in the process. They will question you while you are learning. They will doubt you while you are practicing. They will overlook you while you are preparing. Then, when the results appear, they will suddenly act as though they always knew you could do it. That is why you cannot build your confidence on other people's recognition. If they applaud, keep going. If they criticize, keep going. If they ignore you, keep going. If they misunderstand you, keep going. Your commitment cannot depend on the audience. You have to learn how to work when nobody is watching. You have to learn how to remain consistent when nobody is praising you. You have to learn how to keep believing in the work before the evidence becomes obvious. Because the most important transformation often happens before anybody notices. Think about the person you are becoming. Maybe you are becoming more patient. Maybe you are becoming more responsible. Maybe you are becoming more focused. Maybe you are becoming more thoughtful about your choices. Maybe you are learning to control your emotions instead of allowing your emotions to control you. That is progress. Do not minimize it simply because it is not dramatic. Growth does not always look dramatic. Sometimes growth looks like walking away instead of arguing. Sometimes growth looks like saying no when you used to say yes. Sometimes growth looks like staying quiet when you used to react. Sometimes growth looks like forgiving without returning to the same unhealthy pattern. Sometimes growth looks like choosing your future over your temporary feelings. That is strength. And when people tell you that you have changed, do not automatically take it as an insult. Ask yourself, have I changed for the better? If the answer is yes, keep growing, because your responsibility is not to remain familiar. Your responsibility is to become better. There are people who benefited from your lack of boundaries who may not like your new boundaries. There are people who benefited from your insecurity who may not like your confidence. There are people who benefited from your constant availability who may not like your priorities. There are people who benefited from your silence when you were afraid who may misunderstand your silence when you are strong. But you cannot shrink yourself just to keep other people comfortable. You cannot keep living beneath your potential because somebody prefers the old version of you. Your future requires room to learn, room to make better decisions, room to discover your strengths, room to become disciplined, room to make mistakes without returning permanently to them. You are not required to prove your transformation with speeches. Let your choices demonstrate it. Let your consistency demonstrate it. Let your character demonstrate it. Let your patience demonstrate it. Let your progress demonstrate it. There will be a point when you realize that you no longer need to announce that you are different. People will simply notice. They will